Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link, and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hey there, how are you doing? All right, so today is the start of a new course and it's all about painting. We're going to be going ahead and doing 6 classes of beautiful paintings, and I am honestly so excited about all of the classes that we have coming forward because I absolutely love painting. Though I love drawing, sketching, coloring, everything, painting has to be one of my most favorite things to go ahead and do, and I am so happy to go ahead and actually share this skill with you today. Now, today is the first class of the course, so I want to go ahead and make it a point to talk to you about the certificate program, the feedback program, and finally a little bit about the submissions. And then after that, we can go ahead and talk about what this whole course is about and what we're going to go ahead and do today. Now, firstly, what is the certificate program all about? The certificate program is a very simple program wherein you will go ahead and get a certificate for all of the work that you've been going ahead and doing. Just a couple of pointers to keep in mind. Firstly, don't go ahead and miss any class. That is, if there is a 6 class course, for example, this one is a 6 class course, don't go ahead and miss any of the classes, because then we won't have a record of the fact that you've gone ahead and learned all of the skills that we want to go ahead and teach you. Apart from that, don't go ahead and miss any submissions, because maybe you've gone ahead and watched the whole class, maybe you've understood the whole process, but have you actually executed it? Have you actually learned what we want to go ahead and teach you? Both of those markers we get by if you've gone ahead and attended all of the class and you've gone ahead and done all of your submissions. And what is the point of a certificate? Now, the point of a certificate basically is to go ahead and to show your friends, colleagues, family members, parents, schools, whoever it is tomorrow that you go ahead and meet and they ask you what is your skills in, what does your skill set lie in, what are you capable of doing, what have you gone ahead and learned. Now, for all of those questions, having certificates is very important and essential. So have that certificate, go ahead and provide it to your teachers or colleagues or schools tomorrow who ask you what you're capable of doing, because this is sort of like an identification, sort of like a proof that this is what I do, this is what I have done, this is what I have learned, and here you can go ahead and see that I've gone ahead and do so. So have that little bit of, a certificate to go ahead and help you out. Now, apart from that, let's go ahead and talk about the feedback program. Like you all know, we're going ahead and we have a feedback program wherein if you make your submissions and get selected as part of the top 10, then the top 10 goes ahead and gets a particular feedback. Now I have two kinds of feedbacks that I'm basically, looking forward to. One is positive feedback. Positive feedback is all the feedback wherein we go ahead and tell you that, you're good at this and these are the things that you can go ahead and improve on. These is go ahead and, do like work on this because you're already good at this. Now, apart from that, we also have another kind of feedback called the critical feedback. Now, what I mean by the critical feedback is going to be feedback wherein I go ahead and tell you that, these are things you can improve on. You're already good at all of this. But if you improve on these finer things, then you will become such an amazing artist or whatever skill that I'm going ahead and talking about in that class. So make sure you go ahead and, try getting selected as part of that top 10. Now, apart from all of that, I just want to basically talk to you a little bit about the submissions itself. Now, since this is the start to a new course, it becomes very important and vital because the thing is in this is I'm noticing that some of you are not going ahead and doing your submissions. And I can understand that some days we are not, really in the mood. Some days we're not doing a good job. Some days, we really aren't like, doing that well. So we don't go ahead and actually do a wonderful job in class, but that's completely okay. Go ahead and make your submission irrespective of how you are doing that day, how good your picture is, or how bad your picture is. Now, the reason I'm going ahead and urging this to you basically is that the more you go ahead and do your submission, the more responsible you're going to feel about your work. And also, the more we are going to go ahead and look at the progress you're making. Now, what I basically mean by that is when you go ahead and actually do the first class versus you do the fifth class, in the first class maybe you've done it a certain way, but in the fifth class I go ahead and see it and I see a stark difference between the two, and I can tell that you've gone ahead and improved on your work. You've been going ahead and learning something in every class. So the progress of you as an artist or whatever we're going ahead and creating will be visible once you go ahead and start making your submissions. I've been noticing that a lot in my sketching classes. First class, everybody's okay, is trying to understand something that you're going ahead and doing. Second class, third class, fourth class, we are now I was marking the sixth class the other day, and absolutely beautiful drawings everybody's gone ahead and done. So I can see the difference between the first and the second class. So make sure you go ahead and do your submissions because it helps us out as teachers and it helps you also to go ahead and stay motivated. Now let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to go ahead and do in today's class. Now today's class is basically going to be painting a food item. We're going to be going ahead and painting a donut. Now I absolutely love donuts and I hope you love donuts too. And that's what we're going to be going ahead and working with today. Now a little bit of the format of how we're going to do this class. We're going to first go ahead and talk about the materials. Then we're going to go ahead and actually draw it. Then we're going to go ahead and start with the painting process. And then finally, some or sometimes we may or may not do an outline depending on what the piece is going to be looking like. So the detailing or the outlining part will be right at the end. Apart from that, we'll go in this basic process. So let's get started with today's class with the list of materials that you will need. Now here what I've gone ahead and done is I've gone ahead and taken a sheet of paper that I have gone ahead and cut out. So I'm not going ahead and actually using a drawing book or a sketchbook this time. I'm going ahead and using a sheet of paper. Now you can go ahead and take any sheet of paper which is blank in nature. But one thing that I want to go ahead and tell you is try having a sheet of paper that is thicker. So for example, if you touch an A4 size sheet of paper versus you touch a drawing book sheet of paper, you'll know the drawing book sheet of paper is much thicker, right? So make sure the thicker your sheet is, the better your painting is going to go ahead and look. So have a nice thick sheet of paper to work with. The next thing that you need for today's class is going to be a set of paints. Now here I have the DOMS 12 color watercolor cakes. Now this has white, black, pink, brown, dark blue, purple, light blue, red, orange, dark green, light green, and yellow. So now I have this set of color. If you have something that's has more colors, great. If you have some colors that are lesser than this, that's also all right, because I'll tell you how to go ahead and mix some colors if you do not have any particular colors. So don't worry about that. The next thing that you need for today's class is going to be a water bowl. So here I have a jug of water that is filled up. Now you can go ahead and take a glass bowl like this. You can go ahead and take a disposable box and fill it up with water. Any container, glass, anything basically filled up with water would work. Then the next thing that you want to, have is a brush. Now here I have a Faber-Castell brush, synthetic brush in the number 6. Now, though I am telling you the brush size that I have and the company that I'm using, you don't necessarily have to invest in very, very expensive brushes, or you don't have to go ahead and invest in any particular brushes. You can go ahead and take any brush of your choice. I here I'm using this because I have this at home, but the DOMS tech did come with a beautiful synthetic brush, and you can go ahead and use any brushes that come along with your paint set as well. The last thing that you need for today's class is obviously going to be a pencil. Now the pencil we're going to go ahead and use for our drawing portion of it. So make sure you have a nice dark and sharp pencil to go ahead and draw well. All right. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is draw the donut itself. So first I'm going to go ahead and start with a center circle. So you can see I'm just going ahead and drawing a circle out over here. You don't need to have a particularly neat circle. Just make sure you have like a good enough circle with you. Here you can go ahead and take a bangle. You can go ahead and take a bowl. You can go ahead and take anything of your choice if you want to make your circle look perfect. Otherwise, it's completely all right if your circle is not perfect. Excellent job, everybody. Perfect. Very, very well done. Great. All right, done. Now, the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is draw the center circle part of it. So here you can see I'm going ahead and doing a center circle right here to draw the whole of the donut. And then I'm going ahead and drawing the bitten part of the donut. Now, what I want to basically go ahead and do is I want to draw a donut, but basically with a bite taken out of the donut. Now, here you can go ahead and do it a little big or small. What I'm going to actually go ahead and do is later is I'm going to actually, make that bitten piece a little smaller, because I felt like my donut, was getting too covered with that bitten piece. So you go ahead and adjust it depending on the size that you want, that the bite can be bigger or smaller, whatever you like. So here you can see I've gone ahead and done that. Perfect. Now we'll go ahead and draw the wavy or wiggly line on top of the donut. Now here the wiggly or the wavy line of the donut itself is just a topping on a donut. So if you've seen, you have sort of like a glaze on a donut. So there can be a chocolate glaze, strawberry glaze, sugar glaze. You have so many actually options to go ahead and add a glaze on top. So you can go ahead and do any kind of like color that you want to work with today. I'm going to be doing a chocolate glazed donut today. So that's what we're going to be working with. But I'm going ahead and doing sort of a wiggly line to identify or showcase that glaze part of it. Now here we've mostly gone ahead and finished up with your drawing, but if in any places you feel like you need to go ahead and make corrections, go ahead and do so. I'm going to actually go ahead and erase off that side bit and correct out that bite. Like I said, I felt like it was too big, so I'm just going to go ahead and correct it out like so, as you can see, making it a little smaller. You can go ahead and do any corrections of your choice if you feel like it's a necessary or a need to go ahead and do so. Now, one thing before we start painting, you're going to go ahead and need to learn how to blend in today's class, because if you've gone ahead and done watercolor painting before, then you will know already how to go ahead and do blending. But if you have not, then it can be sort of like a new technique that you're working with. So I will explain the process to you very, very simply and easily. Try making sense of the whole thing and try working alongside it. Now, the first step of our painting is going to be to go ahead and take a brown. So let me give you an explanation of how you're going to mix your brown color. So take your clean brush, dip it in a little bit of water, then dip it in your brown color and take a little bit of brown color into a plate or something and add a little bit of water into it. So what we're going to basically do is we want to dilute the paint. We don't want to take thick paint directly from the palette. We want to dilute it down. So that's what I'm asking you to do right now. So once you have that diluted paint, go ahead and put it onto your paper. So here you can see, you can look at the pencil markings through your paint, and that's exactly how it should look. So here you can see I'm going ahead and doing the outside part, and then I'm also going to go ahead and cover up the whole donut over here. So this is the consistency of your paint that it's supposed to look like. Now I'm just going ahead and painting it out, but I will wait for you. The reason I'm going ahead and painting it out is so that you know the color or the consistency that we want to basically work with today. So you can see going ahead and just painting it out really, really simply. Perfect. Excellent. So this is the basic consistency that you want of your paint. You can see it's almost translucent. So having a little bit of brown and having a little bit of water will go ahead and give you this translucent look. Now here, go ahead and fill it up like I have gone ahead and filled it up right here. Now I'm just going to wait for you, making sure all of you have gone ahead and done so. Now, depending on how much you go ahead and add water, your paint below, that is right now, you've gone ahead and added it. Before you add the second layer of paint, your sheet needs to be dry unless I'm telling you that it should not be dry. So most of the time it has to be dry. Now, in between, if you feel like your sheet is not drying, that is, you've gone ahead and added too much water, so your sheet is not going ahead and drying, then have something to dry it out. So you can take sort of like a fan and dry it out, or have the fan on a high speed in your room while you're painting, or you can go ahead and have like direct sunlight like a window or something alongside you. Worst case situation, you can also have sort of like a blow dryer to blow out your painting and it will dry really fast. So make sure that you're not going ahead and dropping lots of water onto your paper, because your paper can also tear. Make sure of that, but go ahead and dry it out. I've given you a bunch of techniques on how to do it. Excellent. Okay, so I can see everybody's finished up with this brown color. Now we can move on to the next step of it. The next step is basically going to be doing the glaze part of it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and work with a dark brown over here. Now to mix the dark brown, what I've gone ahead and done is I've gone ahead and taken a little bit of brown. So you can see how it looks dry. I've gone ahead and taken a little bit of brown and I've added it a little bit of black. Now here I'm putting down the color again so that you know how it looks. My brown was on the lighter side, which is why I had to go ahead and mix in a little bit of black. If you feel your brown is not as dark, then you don't have to go ahead and actually even mix it out. So here you can see this is the color that we want to work with. You mix it, don't worry. I'm just painting it out so that you can identify the color that I'm going to be working with over here. So here I'm just painting it out like so. And I'm going to wait for you. So depending on your color palette, you will have different colors. You will have a brown that is darker, you'll have a brown that is lighter, depending on whatever you have. My brown was not dark enough and hence I mixed black. You can go ahead and do whatever. Now coming to the painting part of it, you can see I went ahead and did the outline part of the glaze, and coming to the inside part, I have not gone ahead and done the color all the way to the center. I've gone ahead and left a little bit of a gap. And the reason I've gone ahead and left a little bit of gap is because it makes it look a little bit more realistic. It makes it look like there's a front and back part of the donut itself. So that is the inside part and the outside part, and then you have the glaze on top. It gives that sort of an effect, and that's why I've gone ahead and done it. So very good job, everybody. Well done. Perfect. Excellent. All right. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and mix a next color. Now I want to add some more depth to my brown color over here. So again, I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of the same brown that I've made, and I'm adding more black into it. So I'm just going ahead and darkening my color out. So here you can see how dark my color basically goes with. I've gone ahead. It looks almost black, as you can see, really dark. And again, here I'm going to go ahead and do the outline portion of it. Outline, really simple. Again, you go ahead and mix your colors. Don't worry about me going ahead and putting it out right now. The reason I'm putting it out is so that you can see the colors. I'm just going to stop here. You can see how dark it is. It's almost looking black. So a lot of black, little bit of brown to sort of give that color reference that you need. So once you've gone ahead and mixed it, I can see all of you have, go ahead and do that whole outline bit of it. Very good, everybody. Excellent job. Very well done. Perfect. Good. Great. Well done, everybody. Excellent. So you've gone ahead and added it in, and now go ahead and also add it to your side bit of it, and go ahead and add it to your center. Now, what I'm going ahead and doing here is I'm going ahead and taking a little bit of water and running it through the sides of my page. Now, what will happen basically over here when you're running your wet brush is the color is going to start moving. So this is the point of our blending that we're going ahead and doing here. Taking little water and going ahead and blending it out. Now here I'm going ahead and also doing the center in the same manner, going ahead and taking my brown and adding it in. And I'm again going to do the same thing, take a little bit of water and blend it out. So when I say take a little bit of water onto your brush, go ahead and dip your brush in a little bit of water. That's all you basically have to just go ahead and do, taking a little bit of water and blending the whole thing out. Now make sure it looks neat and clean. You don't want to go ahead and not make it neat and clean. And then I'm taking the same exact brown and I'm drawing a bunch of dots on the side and going ahead and, adding that cut part of it. So as you can see, going ahead and adding the cut part and adding the dotted part of it. Perfect. So I'm just going to wait here for a second and I'm going to re-talk to this process because it might have been a little too quick, mainly because you have to go ahead and do this process fast. So I can see some of you caught on and did it perfectly, but some of you haven't. So all of you who haven't, the process basically was the inside circle and the outside circle was covered with your dark brown color and the outside section of it. To blend it out, all we did was we took a little bit of water and ran our brush through the sides of it. So the color basically spread and blended out with the bottom part of it. That's all we basically went ahead and did. So very, very good job, everybody. I can see the ones who got a little confused in the middle have gone ahead and finished it up. Excellent. Very, very well done. Perfect. Great. Now, since everybody's gone ahead and finished up with this, I want to go ahead and, show you how I'm still going ahead and blending a little bit out over here. So you can see, you can always take a little bit of a wet brush and blend any gaps and dirt over here and there. And just take the same brown and add in a bunch of dots here and there. So you can see, I'll just go ahead and show you where I did those dots again. So you can see I'm just going ahead and doing those bunch of dots. Now those dots basically sort of represent the crumbs of basically the bite being taken. So once you take a bite of the donut, you can see sort of like those crumbs coming out and falling away. So that is basically what I'm sort of trying to identify here, all of those little crumbs that are falling out. Perfect. Excellent. Now here, if anywhere you feel like your color is not blended, go ahead and blend it out. Also, some of you might have gone ahead and used a little bit of extra water because this is your first class. So go ahead and fan it out if it needs to go ahead and be dry. We are not going to do actually anything on top of that now. So it's okay if it's not dry because, there's no color that's going to bleed out anywhere. It doesn't matter. But if you have gone and done like too much water and then spilled out and stuff, take a blow dryer, take a fan or something and dry your sheet of paper out completely. Excellent job, everybody. For your first class of painting, watercolor painting especially, all of you are doing an amazing job. Very, very well done. Good. Perfect. Well done, everybody. Excellent job. Now, what we'll do is we'll move on to the outer part of our donut itself. So what I'm going ahead and doing, I've taken the same color and added in a lot of water. So diluting it, and I'm going to go ahead and do sort of like a periphery on the outside of my donut. Now, this is again to just bring a little bit of depth to my donut. So you can see I'm just going ahead and doing sort of like an outline to the donut over there because I want to go ahead and make it look more circular, and hence I'm going ahead and doing this sort of boundary line. Now, once I do this boundary line, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to wash my brush, dip it in a little bit of water and blend. So you can see just running my brush through it. That's all blending is, running my brush. It might be a little confusing in the beginning as to like how it's supposed to happen, but take your time in terms of the blending portion of it. So right there, just take some time. And most of the times what happens is when you add a little bit of water, the color will keep spreading and blend out. So if you look at, the frame that I had earlier of my picture, the color looked a little different, but as it dried, it completely, blended out. So perfect. That's it. So now we've actually gone ahead and finished the major part of the donut itself. We've gone ahead and finished up with the painting of the donut. So now we just have the background to go ahead and do. I didn't want to leave my donut as is like this. I wanted to go ahead and add in a little bit more. And hence I felt like adding sprinkles all around the rest of the sheet. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Now you can pick whatever colors of your choice. I want to go ahead and do red, yellow, and blue for the background. In order to add like a bunch of sprinkles, go ahead and add in whatever colors that you like. All right, so now taking my red color, I'm just going to go ahead and do a bunch of lines here and there. So you can see bunch of lines here and there. Very, very simple and easy. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my yellow color and I'm going to go ahead and do a bunch of lines. Perfect. Excellent job. Very, very well done. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and take my blue and I'm going to go ahead and add in a bunch of lines there as well. Perfect. Excellent. Great. Perfect. So there we had our finished picture and painting ready. Now here I'm going to wait for you. Obviously, I ran through that red, yellow, and blue. Now the reason why I basically ran through it was basically to just give you an idea of how to go ahead and add it in. Now you can go ahead and start slowly adding in your sprinkles up. Go ahead and add in a few blues, few yellows, few reds, or actually if you want to go ahead and add in some other colors, probably like greens and stuff, go ahead and add that in too. It's completely up to you to play around with the colors that you want to play around, but this is how the final look should work. It should basically go ahead and look filled up. Now earlier, if you remember how our donut was just looking, it was on a plain sheet of paper with nothing around it or on it, but going ahead and adding in a little bit of sprinkles makes such a large difference. It makes it look so much more prettier, makes it look so much more nicer and wonderful. So look at how amazing it is looking right now. Beautiful, isn't it? Great. Excellent, excellent job, everybody. I'm so happy with all of your work. You've done wonderful. Now here, just make sure, if you've gone ahead and missed anything, make sure you have a look at it. And, you think you go ahead and do it later on if you've missed any step. Most of you, as I can see right now, have not missed any of your steps. You've done an excellent job. So very, very, very well done. Good job, everybody. Perfect. All right. So great, everybody. Very, very, very happy with your work. Now, in today's class, we basically learned how to draw a donut. We learned how to go ahead and paint a donut. We learned how to do a little bit of watercolor blending as well. And we added in a background. So excellent, excellent job, everybody. You have done such an amazing job, and I am so happy with it. Now, when it comes to your submission, I want to just go ahead and tell you to just submit whatever you've gone ahead and created right now. If you have some gaps left here and there, go ahead and fill it up and then do your submission of that. Now, let me give you a little bit of the reminder of a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about. Firstly, don't go ahead and miss any of your classes if you want a certificate. Second is don't miss any of your submissions, good, bad, doesn't matter. I want you to go ahead and do your submission. Last, there's the feedback program. If you do a good job, then you can get selected as part of the top 10 and you can go ahead and get a certificate. Thank you for joining me in today's class. I had such a wonderful time teaching you how to do a bunch of painting. Now in the next class, we're going to go ahead and actually do a leaf. It's going to be a dried up oak leaf, which I am super excited to go ahead and draw and paint with you. So make sure you go ahead and attend the next class as well, and we will have more fun then. All right, thank you so, so much, and have a look at the submission video if you haven't already. Bye.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all